This is my new favorite watch in the world. Let me tell you why. Dave Taylor here, and I'm looking at watches. Not smart watches, but not exactly dumb old school watches either. This is the Casio EQB900 DB-2A. That is a real mouthful, but here's what you need to know about it, is it actually has an app that you sync with, and it doesn't give you notifications. I don't want notifications on my watch, but it uses the app to make sure that everything's always exactly on time. It actually synchronizes 4 times a day via low power Bluetooth, and so your watch is always exactly on time. It can show a second time on the little tiny world time dial on the bottom. And let me give you a close-up so you can see the dial a little better. And you can use any of 300 different cities in that second time, and you can switch back and forth if you want. I don't do that because I want to know my local time, but you can do that. Now, it's 100-meter water resistant. It has mineral glass. I have a previous generation of this watch, and I have smacked it into brick walls and all sorts of stuff, and it's never gotten a scratch or anything, which I find quite amazing. And more than once, I will sit there and look at it, and I'm like, that's got to have damaged it, and it hasn't. So whatever they're using for glass, it's terrific. Has a lot of buttons on the sides, but the important one is it's a screw lock crown. You can manually adjust it, but seriously, why would you do that when you have the app, right? The app is so much easier. And here's one of the things I really love, is that when I have the app, when I travel and go to a different time zone, all I have to do is launch the app, and then there's a button on the watch that says, you know, go ahead right now and connect via Bluetooth, and within seconds I'm watching the hands on the watch move to actually adjust to the new time zone. That is vastly easier than having to adjust it manually. So that by itself makes it worthwhile. It also has a nice threefold clasp. When I got this, I did have to go into a jeweler and get it adjusted so that it would fit my wrist. That was a whopping $10 investment. Pretty painless. You could probably do it yourself if you want. It's also multimodal, so it has stopwatch, countdown timer. You can set a daily alarm. It even can show you things like battery level. And let's talk about battery for a second, because one of the really cool things about this is it's solar powered. They call it tough solar, but what it means is if you have it in the sun even for a few minutes every day, then you're good to go, and you'll never ever need to put a new battery in it. Now, I've had the earlier generation EQB900, we'll come back to that in a second, but this one I have had for years, and I've never ever had to put any new batteries in it or anything. It just, you know, when you're outside or something, it's sitting there soaking up the energy of the sun. Fantastic, so cool. Now, let's talk about the difference, because this one I really like. This was a nice masculine watch, right? But big, heavy, clunky. So you see it's very thick, and it's a big dial, and it's heavy, right? So when they got to the EQB900, this is the next generation of their EQB line from Casio, and it is 2.3 millimeters smaller. It is 2.1 millimeter thinner, and here's the thing that really rocks. They actually reduced 25% of the weight. So when I feel both of these, this is substantially heavier. It's, you know, very much heavier, and you can see even in this side view, there's a lot of difference in the thickness of these two watches. I really like this. I mean, I really like this watch. Now, it also has some luminosity, and one of the things they've added is they have something called the super illuminator. So to demonstrate that, we went into the bathroom and turned the lights out. First off, you can see here the glow in the dark on the hands. It's nice, easy to read, as long as you're reasonably close to when you had illumination. Now let's say you don't, so there's a button you can push on the side of the watch, and now you have the super illuminator, a little tiny light that actually illuminates the face and lets you see even in pitch darkness. That's a nice added feature. I'm not sure how often I use it because I like to sleep when I'm asleep, but you know, you wake up, you want to know what time it is, very handy. Now, it comes in 2 colors. This is the blue, and like I said, this is the EQB900 DB-2A. They also have a version of this that's very, very similar, but it's in gray, sort of a black gray color scheme. That's also very handsome, and that is the EQB900D-1A. And yeah, Casio Edifice, they might need to work on their naming schemes a little bit, but figure it out because it's totally worth it. Like I said, 300 times for the, or cities I should say, for the second time or world time display. Shows you day of the week, shows you the month of the, or the day of the month, and all this sort of stuff. And again, more likely than not, you're going to go ahead and jump onto your phone to look for that kind of stuff, or look at your computer. But I just think this is a really cool hybrid of a classic men's watch, and you know, women can wear it. I do not judge, but this is pretty much a men's style watch. But it has a lot of smarts if you pair it with the app, not the least of which is that you never have to worry about it losing or gaining time, because it's synchronizing 4 times a day against your phone, which is itself synchronizing against the cellular network probably about every second. So as long as somewhere someone has the right time, your watch will also have the right time. I really dig this watch, and I'm going to put this on my wrist, and it's not going to come off until maybe the next generation of the Casio Edifice shows up. And having said that, this is not something you're going to be picking up at Target for 29 bucks. This is a much more sophisticated piece of chronograph and technology. So you're going to want to go to shopcasio.com. But before I tell you the price, let me ask if you can go ahead and click on that subscription or subscribe button. Really appreciate if you can do that, and I appreciate if you subscribe to my channel. Now, this Casio EQB900 smartwatch with app link and the illumination and all this sort of stuff, so cool. You can pick it up for $320 at shopcasio.com. Like I said, I love this watch. I think it's worth buying good gear, and this is definitely on that list. So, this is Dave Taylor. This is going right back on my wrist, and I will catch you, there we go, I will catch you in the next video.